Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this video breakdown, we're going to take a look at a way to improve your coverages as far as against some of these deeper pass routes that you'll find in the game. Some of this stuff might be a little bit of a rehash, but there's a thing I'm going to show at the very end of this that I think you guys will enjoy that's going to bring some extra pressure on the quarterback, even though you're only doing a four-man pass rush. All right, before we actually get on the field, the first thing I want to do is show you a couple coaching adjustments that you're going to need to make on the defensive side of the ball. Let's go ahead and get into it and take a look at them. Now, the first one is one that a lot of you guys already use. I've used it as well. And we're going to head on down here to zone drops, curl flats. Now, you can notice right there, I've got it set to 25 yards. Now, you can set this to 30. You can set it to 20. We're going to go with 25. It's a nice number in between those other two I just mentioned. Let's head on down here to safety depth. The next thing you want to make sure is you got this set to tight. I'm going to bring these safeties all the way up as close to the line of scrimmage as I can. That's 5 yards off. That's 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. So make sure you set it tight. You can set it to close if you want, but I'm going to go with the tight. Next, go down to safety width, and I'm going to set this one to pinch. This is going to pinch the safeties a little bit tighter to the inside, help defend against the inside run. Even though we're not having a run play that we're going to show, it's to force my opponent to think that I've got a run defense set up, and hopefully he bites on and maybe tries to go deep over the top, which I'm set up for. So let's go ahead and get into it and take a look at it on the field. Now that we're on the field, let's take a look at the defense that I want to show that I like to use to defend these deep passing routes. And the name of the play is called nickel, single mug, cover four quarters. Now, as you remember right earlier, we dropped these defenders into curl flats into 25 yards. So as you look at it, you've got these guys right here, which are going to be these this nickel back right here and this linebacker. They're both going to be dropping back. So here's the nickel back, here's the linebacker, along with those other four defenders, which is the two corners on the outside, plus these two safeties. Now, the idea of this is by bringing these safeties up near the line of scrimmage, and say our opponent comes out in 1st and 10, and he sees something like this, he's thinking, man, I can look to throw the ball deep. And look at where these safeties lined up at. I'm thinking about I think I'll go ahead and audible into a passing play and look to go deep. So he may do that, which is fine, because that's what we want, because we know we got these four guys dropping back, plus those other two defenders in those curl flats dropping 25. So I feel pretty confident we can take that away most of the time. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's some combinations out there that are going to, find somebody open, but at least this gives you a fighting chance on those deeper passer routes. Now, the other thing you got to think about is that you got to just think about defending some of these routes underneath. So that's why you're going to take control of this guy right here, this linebacker, and you're going to look to take away all these routes coming across over the middle, rather it be drag, slants, whatever. You're going to have to take these away yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble because they'll just throw it underneath and they'll end up picking up several yardages. So with that said, let's go ahead and run this, and then we'll talk about some other things here after we run this. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And once the ball is snapped here, you'll see that I'm just going to take away this, just in case I'm watching that running back coming out of the backfield, and then I got a coverage sack. Now, if you're really going to instant replay right now and take a look at something, because I want to show you guys a little bit more here with the X and O's of the play. All right, from the top down view, now we can really kind of look at this play and kind of dissect it a little bit more of why it works. So let's go ahead and take a look at it here. Now, the first thing I want to do is just kind of run through a little bit right here. As you look at it, at this point, pretty much all the receivers are pre-covered as you can look at it. There's not really any options for our opponent to throw to. And as you're looking at it, I'm dropping this guy back right here, and I'm just kind of eyeing, seeing if anybody's coming across the middle. So I'm waiting for somebody to come across. In this case, nobody is, so I'm not really worried about it. Now, I've got to keep my focus also on the running back as well. So right now I'll be focusing this running back right here, just trying to keep an eye on him, plus the quarterback. I got to watch all this going on just to make sure that that quarterback doesn't take off or the running back does something, get open. I've got to watch all this. So right there, I'm able to take everything away. Now, the one thing I did want to point out, remember I talked about earlier, there's always going to be a route that could probably beat you. And this one just happens to be this option route right here that's ran by this guy here. This guy who was in the slot. Remember, he had the option to either go into the post. His primary was to go up this way, but he had the option to go to a post. He could be open where he could throw throw your quarterback, your opponent. He could throw a quick bullet pass into this here and complete it. So that's something you got to watch for. But for the most part, you might really use her and take that away. By the time he throws it, you might really get over and take that away. But at any rate, that's something, as I said, there's always going to be something open no matter what you do here. But right there, you can see right there, we get a coverage sack and we're in there pretty quick and we still get a coverage sack, which is nice. So that's nice about this particular setup I'm showing. It does take away the 3 outside receivers or 2 outside receivers plus that one in the slot on the right. The one on the left, because he's running that, has that option to go towards the post, he could be a problem. But at any rate, that's it right there as far as that is concerned. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to show you how to enhance this to get to the quarterback even quicker, almost guaranteed most of the time to get pressure on the quarterback. All right, now I want to show you guys how to enhance this particular setup, the nickel single mug, cover 4 quarters, where you still get that nice 6 defenders dropping back into pass coverage, but now you can get a 4-man pass rush that's even faster than what I just showed. And it's real simple. All you got to do is call the Texas Fourman Stunt, and which I think is by far the best stunt in the game. But at any rate, let's go ahead and get on taking a look at this a little bit more. So the one thing I want to point out here is you'll notice that I'm in control of this guy right here. Now, what I like to do with him is when I run this particular stuff that I'm showing, I like to have him going out in this direction here and then going back towards this area here. The reason for that is I'm going to zoom in here. I want to show this a little bit closer as I zoom in. Is what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get this center to follow me towards this direction here. And if I do this right, then this is going to allow this guy right here, as you look at it, so that this guy right here on the outside here, he's going to come around and he's going to come after the quarterback up through that A gap. That's the reason I do that. This is going to allow me to get that A gap pressure, because what's going to happen is this guy right here, which is going to be this, let's zoom back out a little bit. It's going to end up being this guard. What he's going to do is he's going to pull towards this direction here. The center is going to look to block me, and it's going to create that big old gap for him to shoot through. That's what you're going to see here in just a second. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and run this play, and you'll see what I mean. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So once that ball snapped, watch me drop my guy back in this direction here. See how I just did that? Now, he got blocked that time, but for the most part, he won't always get blocked. A lot of times, he's still going to get through. Let's go ahead and do it again. Same thing here. As you look at it, watch what happens here. See how I did that? And you end up getting that gap and pressure right there and cause a fumble. So pretty nice right there as far as bringing the pressure on the quarterback, and yet it's pretty consistent. Let's do it one more time and just take a look at it so you can see how consistent it really is. All right, same thing right there, right? Got the setup. Watch what happens once the ball snapped. And then I just go this way, and here I go again. I get that same pressure. So this is something you can definitely take a look at. Let's go into instant replay and just take a look at it a little bit more and see how this actually works. All right, let's take a look at the X and O's behind this play and instant replay and get a better idea of how this works. Now, it's basically the same thing as far as the coverage, just nothing's changed. The only thing we're hoping for is that we can get some pressure a lot quicker than what I was showing earlier from these guys right here, these 2 guys on the outside rushing the quarterback. So watch what happens here as you look at this. This guy's going to come through this gap right here. At least he's going to loop around this. This tackle is going out this direction here. This guy's going to loop around and he's going to head up through that A gap. Now, he's going to probably end up getting blocked. Now, on the other side, though, things are a little bit different. And I'm going to show you why here as we go through it, kind of what we talked about earlier when I was showing you the setup. But this guy's going to loop around the strong side defensive tackle. As this guy's going this direction here, he's going to loop around, and then he's going to apply that pressure on that quarterback as he comes up the gut there as you look at it. So he's going to come up through here, up through that A gap, and get the pressure on the quarterback. Now, the key to this is this guy right here, the one that you're in control of. You're already in control of this linebacker. You remember earlier, when we did the initial setup, I just told you to drop straight back, kind of take away all this stuff over here. Well, with this setup I'm showing, you don't want to do that necessarily. What you want to do is this way. You want to go this direction, and then you want to cut back into this inside. And the reason for that is you're trying to get this guy right here, the center, to look to block you into this direction here. If you do it right, you're going to have this right guard going this direction along with this right tackle. And again, this is going to create this big old gap where this linebacker or defensive end can shoot through and apply this pressure on the quarterback up through that A gap. So that's the idea behind it. So that's why you want to kind of just let him go a little bit to the left and then go ahead and drop back over the short middle and defend it. So let's look at this again. As you look at it right there, you can see how I'm going to the left as you look at it. Probably went a little bit too far left, but at any rate, you can see, look at that center. See how that center goes? Look at him. He's eyeing me right now. He's eyeing. And then he's also got to worry about this guy, but he's eyeing me initially. He eyes this guy right here. And the next thing you know, nothing anybody can do. Now, if I rewind this just a little bit, the other thing I want to show is it's going to be this guy right here. Remember this right guard? Now he goes over here to block that strong side defensive tackle. As we zoom out just a little bit here, this guy right here, the running back, right now he's not really doing anything, but because it's a 4-man pass rush, he's not going to pass protect, guarantee it. Instead, what he's going to do is he's going to end up running his route. So he's going to end up going out. He's not even going to pay attention to me rushing that, or pay attention to that defender who's coming up through that A gap. See right there? Doesn't even pay attention, not even paying attention. Now the right guard does try to slide over, but he's too late. And then there's the pressure. And if you remember earlier, I talked about how this guy was going to be open deep down to Phil right here. Well, he's just now starting to run it and get towards the post. At this point, it's too late. The quarterback's already going to be sacked. So that's what you can do to enhance this, to even make it even harder for your opponent to find open receivers deeper down the field. Here's an example of how fast you can really get to the quarterback as far as the pass rusher. Here he gets one just after 2 seconds. To summarize, mastering your defensive adjustments, especially how you apply zone drops in long down situations, is key in college football 26. By setting up your strong safety and free safety depth to close and pitching their width, you can create a formidable defense that can stop the run and blanket deep coverage passing routes. This strategy forces the quarterback to make tough decisions, preventing those game-changing plays over the top and putting the ball back in your offensive hands. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for more Madden guides, strategy, and tips content. See you in the next video.